Hey guys, thanks for joining me again for another Mark Anthony's Magic Review. Today, as you can see, we got the Electric Touch by Yigal Mesika. Now, Electric Touch is a effect where actually there's multiple uses for it, but the basic effect is you have the spectator choose a card. They see the card, they show the audience, maybe you have your back turned, you put the card back in the deck, you don't even have to handle it at all. You reach out, you tell them that you're going to take the thought from their mind. You reach out, you touch them on the forehead, they feel this shock, and you instantly can reveal the card. There's multiple other applications for it as well, but that's just the basic one. It's really great. It's a great product. What do you get in the set? So you get the Electric Touch, which is a setup. You do have to set it up. There's two ways to do it. There's a temporary, there is a permanent. Yigal goes through both of these, and there's written instructions as well. I prefer the permanent. I have used the temporary on a short notice or pull it out at a house party type thing, but I prefer to have the entire setup. And the entire setup is really reliable, and the product really does work. This thing is a James Bond type device. Okay, it's out of sight, you never see it, you never suspect it, and what you can do with Electric Touch Plus is really as close to magic, real magic, as I think you can really get. That's super convincing. You know, a lot of the times we magicians, we ask people to suspend belief for a lot of the things that we do, and depending on our acts and depending on what kind of magic we do. You know, Yigal is in the belief, you know, a lot of his stuff is, you know, mentalist type psychics, magic. You know, he's the master levitator and stuff like that. A lot of his products, if you've seen Yigal's products out there, are of that type of nature. And we will actually be reviewing other Yigal Mesika products going forward in the future as well, so keep your eye open for those if you are into his stuff. But he likes to present his magic as, you know, he's a real psychic, and he's really doing these things. And this really allows you to do some brilliant stuff. Okay, so the quality of the Electric Touch Plus, for me, I've had it for 2 years. And I've used it countless times. I couldn't even tell you. It sees a lot of use. I've never had any issues with it. I've replaced the battery a couple times to make sure that I'm getting the right amount of juice. But sometimes the batteries probably didn't even need to be changed. I just did that precautiously to make sure I was going to get the best performance out of it. But you don't have to change it. It is very low battery usage. I made sure I got energizers, and I mean, you could probably go a year off it using it regularly and then not have to change it. Obviously, as far as quality is concerned, you're going to get more quality when you go with the permanent setup. Temporary setup is off an emergency basis where you just want to whip it out. I want to say it can be unreliable. The temporary setup can be not as powerful. You don't get as much out of the effect. What's the best way of saying that without kind of giving anything away? The temporary setup, yeah, it doesn't give you as much juice. That's the best way to say it. When you have the permanent setup on, you are harnessing the full power of this device, and it's going to be able to take advantage of the mechanics involved in that professional setup, that permanent setup, to really give you the best out of this device. Instruction quality, like all Yigal Mesika products. The guy basically rolls up in a limousine type thing in the beginning. You know, his teeth shine, his hair is brilliant in HD type stuff. He likes that type of look, very professional in his videos. You notice that kind of scheme when you watch his instructional videos. So it's well done. You know, Yigal is been doing this for a long time, this type of magic, and he goes through all the little subtleties that you might use, as well as multiple performances with this in various situations. And some of the stuff is insane. Being able to hold a fluorescent bulb in your hand and having it ignite or glow as you're just holding it. A complete impossibility. Another one that I like with this is I have a little water bottle with a little hole in it, and it drains slowly. So when you hold the water bottle at the top and you just squeeze, you notice the stream just kind of comes out nice and steady. And what you do is you have someone do that, or with a tap in a sink. But I like the water bottle idea because it's on the go. And when they're doing that, when they're holding the bottle, the stream is coming down, and you can actually focus your mind and make that current bend to your will. I've taken a little styrofoam glass or a glass on the ground or on the table, and I've taken the water and I've actually made it bend as it falls to the ground, the cement, right into the glass. It's extraordinary. The reactions I've gotten are second to none, second to no effect I've ever done. Super believable. And not only are the effects really good, and there's multiple applications for it. He goes from things like just that you wouldn't even think about, like hypnotism, things like that. But there's multiple applications. But it goes even deeper than that. You can use this as a convincer for so many effects that you do. You know, he even says in the video that this is how he makes things float around his body, simply because he has a magnetic electric force that surrounds him. And, you know, then he goes in to demonstrate the electric force with a shock. The spectator feels it, and then he goes into his, you know, his levitation routine, and minds are blown. You know, they don't know what they're looking for. They don't. I'm not even sure what kind of weird, freaky nightmare they think that they're involved in. But it's a really great convincer for so many different things I have applied it to. Is it practical? It's not cumbersome, but you are hooked up. You got this thing attached to you that's making this incredible magic possible. It's not uncomfortable. I've used it all day long. Not uncomfortable. But if you use it as a utility device, as this kind of convincer for other things that you might do, other psychic effects, energy effects, levitations, you'll find that if you do that kind of stuff a lot, you'll find that this is just the perfect kind of convincer for it. It's the perfect thing. Okay, so pros, guys, with this. I've gone over a bunch of these things just a second ago. There's lots of them. Gimmick is high quality. The product has had no fault since I've gotten it. Instructional video is second to none. And the magic that you're able to do, the real magic that this makes possible, you can't replace it. It's a great utility tool, in my opinion. It's so much more than just for a couple effects. Cons: it's on batteries. Unless you have rechargeable batteries, you got to keep replacing them. Get rechargeable batteries. It's a good idea. I just thought of that right now. It's crazy. It's so silly. I have rechargeable batteries for other stuff. You have to get used to the currents. With live electricity coursing through your veins, you get shocked as well. There's a lot of things to get used to get comfortable with it, but it's not painful in any way. It's just something that you have to get used to, and it's the sacrifice of getting the occasional shock or so for the kind of magic that you're doing. No problem. Any other cons? You know, you're always hooked up. Really, the permanent setup is the biggest one, that you have to have this permanently installed in order to get the full effect out of it. The temporary setup is just not reliable enough, in my opinion. It is if you're gags and fun, but if you're a worker and you're out working in the real world and you want that extra little convincer and you want to make sure that you're getting the full performance out of this device, the permanent setup is the only way to go. The good thing is that it looks great. The permanent setup looks great. There is really no one's ever said anything to me about the permanent setup, and if you have this product or if you're looking at getting it, you'll know what I mean. Okay, guys, so that is Yigal Mesika's Electric Touch Plus. Absolutely amazing product. I try to be fair with all my reviews. I'm doing a lot of the stuff that I really like first, that I use on a consistent basis first, which is why you're seeing so many thumbs up from me in my first bunch of videos here. But really, this is some powerful stuff at a price tag of, when I got it, $299. I don't know what it's at now. Could be cheaper. It's pricey, it's expensive. If you're a working professional like I am, you like reviewing this stuff and you like having this stuff and putting it to use, finding new applications for it, then it's worth it. It's real life. It brings real magic. It's real life magic, guys. Okay, so that was Electric Touch. If you like this review, please like and subscribe to my channel. That'd be awesome. If you have any products that you want to see reviewed, leave it in the comments. I'll look around at doing that. If you have any other concerns or any other questions, leave them in the comments too, guys. I'd like to have the good conversation with the community here. So enjoy Electric Touch Plus. Take care, guys. Until the next time.